How many people have, this is the first time being here? For your information, the restrooms are out this door and to your left and to your left. The men's on the right. I think there are two women's past that. Membership for the group is $60 a year, $10 at the door if you come in. I've been here for over 10 years. It's a great group. Tonight, our speakers are going to be a long program, Suk Hong, a DDS, and the short program will be Sharon Ferenz. We start off the program normally with questions and answers, things that are going on. Anybody has any new information? So we'd like to start off. Anybody have any information or insights that they're informed with? The boss.
This is Jerry, and I was just talking to Susan a little bit with regard to chelation therapy, which I know a lot of people here are interested in. And I've been working on this subject for the past 10 years, and we know how to get chelators into tissues and therefore be able to take care of a lot of the problems that people talk about with regard to that. And I think that's what Susan wanted me to say. And by doing so, we can get rid of biofilm. And biofilm, for example, and we're going to hear a lot about biofilm tonight from Suk Hong. And that entails having bacteria are negatively charged, tissues are negatively, teeth are negatively charged because of the pellicle, and they shouldn't stick. But they do stick, and we have ways to get rid of that biofilm using the permeation enhancer plus the chelation technologies. So I'll leave it at that, but we can also take care of inflammation and things of that nature with the same technology. But I'll leave that for another talk and explain this in details at some point in time.
Also, because of the recording and for other people in the room that can't hear, we'd like to have all questions and answers done on the mic, if you don't mind. Do we have anybody that has questions, answers, information? Group? We need to get alive.
Yeah, I have a question. Anybody that watches TVs will see ads. If you have this disease, call such and such, and they'll try to get you involved in a lawsuit of some kind. The most common one you see is on mesothelioma. And then you'll see other ones that'll say, if you've taken this drug and you have this side effect, call such and such. The latest that I'm a little bit have a question on is if you've taken a testosterone supplement and you've had a stroke or heart attack. Now, all the things that we've been told as far as balancing hormones is that testosterone is good for the cardiovascular system, it's good for the heart. I'm assuming that maybe these are unmonitored patients whose hematocrits are getting high as a result of testosterone, and therefore their blood is getting sluggish and they're more likely to get stroke and heart attack. But I really don't know, so I wonder if someone could shed some light on that.
There's been some recent controversy on testosterone in health with cardiovascular disease. The studies should be looked at further because I think there's a lot of questions on the research design. Also, when you're giving testosterone, they need to be measuring what pathway it goes down. If it goes down the aromatase pathway, it turns into estrogen, which is going to cause all sorts of trouble, diabetes, leading to heart attacks. Or it can go down the 5-alpha reductase pathway and you get DHT. And I don't think most physicians are monitoring what pathway the testosterone that they're giving out to where it's going.
It's also been shown that a lot of the studies that were done, they were using synthetic injectable testosterone versus a bioidentical testosterone.
Yes.
just wanted to mention, not on the testosterone side, but we do have a product that gets rid of biofilm on the teeth. It gets rid of plaque better than anything else, but about 4 or 5 times better than anything on the market, as well as getting rid of gingivitis. So, and there's a company called Livionics that has that dental gel. And if anyone wants any information on how to get that dental gel, and if you have any types of gingivitis, see me, and I'll get you information with regard to that. We're really, really superior. There's no fluoride, there's no detergents, and there's no abrasives with regard to the dental gel, and it really works well.
No questions without the mic.
It's livionics.com, Livonex.com, livionics.com, like live. And I have cards, so if anyone wants that, I'll give it to them.
How many people watch TV and they see COPD commercials? Do you know what it is? Well, I actually had a pulmonary test the other day, and I was startled to find out that I had a mild case of COPD. And I was kind of like, how can that be? She asked me a lot of questions about smoking, which I smoked many, many years ago. So it's something that you might think about getting checked out. It's pulmonary disease, your lung capacity.
Okay, it's chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's what COPD stands for.
What causes it, and how can you prevent it?
It's caused by things like asthma, and bronchitis is subsumed under the rubric of COPD. What causes these things? I think asthma has a large autoimmune component, and autoimmune we get right back to the gut, because a lot of the autoimmune stuff starts with the gut. And if we've got a leaky gut, things go through, we get all these antibodies going on, and then they just have a heyday with autoimmunity in the body. And also such things as she'll be discussing tonight, like biofilms. If you've got a smoldering infection, for example, my molars were pulled out 50 years ago, and my bone is totally gone. It's necrotic, it's infected. And if you've got a low-grade infection anywhere in the body, you can't fix the rest of it. I mean, it's a direct risk. Any low-grade infection is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, more autoimmunity, et cetera. So there's a lot of different things you need to look at within the body, and that's why we're here.
I heard something on the radio the other day I thought was interesting, and there was a woman talking, and she said, if early in your life if you'd taken any kind of musical instrument classes or played the piano or whatever it might be, that later in life it would help your cognition and to stave off all of the pangs of losing your memory. Have you ever heard that? Pardon me? Can't recall.
There's actually been a lot of studies that show that even listening to classical music before tests and things like that will actually help college students perform better at tests and things like that, because the classical music and the different notes that actually help stimulate your brain. So what ends up happening is that because your brain is stimulated and you are cognitively using it a lot more, it actually helps prevent things like Alzheimer's and other things like that, because your brain is functioning a lot more versus, let's say, just sitting down and watching TV or something like that, where your brain's not really actively really doing anything. And so when you're listening to classical music or music in general, that really heightens your brain activity.
Well, they also, I remember listening to people talk about the aged and about lifting weights and what have you, and they found out that people that have small amounts of weights are able to build their muscle mass back up, which I thought was very healthy. Do we have interaction in here? If not, we're going to move with the main program.